has been running these for about 8 or 9 years. Our sales director actually is one of the people that he's doing the tests on, and he's shown the only one that I can think of specifically, but it's almost like what it's shown, that it can reduce your telomeres from slowing down and increasing over a 7-year period. It's basically having that same effect for all the different target areas of the body. So we're creating, it's almost like anti-aging for the target area. So we spoke about heart earlier, the blood vessel and the heart bioregulator, just cycling that every now and then, just to make sure you're trying to regulate your heart functionality as much as possible.
So you're obviously now very heavily involved with Bionic. What's your specific role there?
So in the UK, I had Bionic Lab Research. Yeah. That was one of the first peptide companies I think that I set up in 2020. They acquired 50% of that business. And so basically, we called it. It's now called Bionic Lab. So DN has actually changed its name to Bionic Lab, and I'm the co-founder and 50% shareholder of that business.
And then your role within that is also trying to educate within that, because obviously you mentioned you do a lot of consult calls with people as well to try and put kind of advice and guidance into the marketplace.
So Bionic, they've grown an amazing business, and the personalised supplementation, great marketing team, logistics. So they turn over 20 times more than what DN did, and they've got that team set up. So they said, look, we take all that and you just do what you're good at, and you go and talk about the peptides, educate yourself more, educate people. Maybe we're even looking at doing an academy. So just really go down that road, because that's what you've got the passion for. So just you focus on what you've got the passion for. We'll do all the clever stuff,
the boring stuff on the back end. And then for you on your end, what's the thing you're most excited for in terms of where peptides are going next 3 to 5 years?
I think it's the not so much the regulation, but understanding the source of the peptide. And I think as we become more educated, I always see these comments on social media, they all come from China. We're speaking about the US market because everyone's talking about FDA, and 80% do come from China, raw material. But I've already spoken about, from raw to going into the vial, the contamination. Yeah. So it's just understanding that we've got a really good, clean, trusted source, and that over the years, working with the correct people that have these tried and tested protocols. And I think making the source more regulated is going to be the key. And then obviously we're going to be there's a lot of doctors that are just creating a real mess with peptides, but the educated doctors that have been working with peptides for many years, have the functional medicine background, integrative medicine background, understand biological individuality. Combining those two together, I think that's the future.
So what you said there in terms of the clean peptide sources, what are the issues with some of the other peptide sources? The fact that the results aren't what they should be because it's not as effective in terms of the actual product?
Yeah, so I'm not going to say any names, but in the investment into independent testing, I've tested other people's peptides. Okay. Generally, I have to say, most don't have endotoxins, which was my biggest fear. Most have.
What's endotoxins, to explain?
It's basically getting contaminated, the peptide being contaminated, and you're injecting toxins into your body, which can cause all sorts of problems. So very rare do I see high endotoxin levels. Okay. Purity is generally always good as well. The threshold is 95%. Ours are always sort of 99.5 upwards really. So that's generally quite high as well. So all of a sudden 80% of the products are good. What I do see is they're all underdosed massively. So 20-30%. So they're doing the peptides, you've got a 10 milligram BPC and it's got 6 or 7 milligrams in there. That seems to be the biggest thing we're coming across at the moment. And that would be probably maybe they're not doing it on purpose. They just don't have the specific, precise equipment to do the accurate measurements. That's me being positive.
Is that, without naming names, is that products coming from specific areas? Is it one's coming from India? Is it one's coming from anywhere? Or
everywhere. Even one of the European suppliers I tested, and they were low. Some of the Chinese and Indian products were low. So they call it the name of the peptides, the name of the peptide assay. Yeah. And that's just how much of the actual peptide's in there. And it's rarely, more often than not, it comes up much lower than what it should do.
And you've never seen them overdosed, I imagine?
No, but to be fair, our peptide pens, when we have them tested, they're normally a little bit over. But when you do your protocol, obviously we're talking 0.0 of a milligram when you do an injection. So it's better to be over than under, within reason, of course. You have that reference range. And also the purity does drop. It will drop at some point. Yeah. So that's almost mitigates that, because if it's a little bit high when you start, the assay still, even though it drops, it's going to sort of mitigate that. So it's good to be a little bit over, but not too much.
Outside of peptides, kind of other health supplements that people can essentially kind of inject, what's your opinion on, say, something like injectable glutathione, or maybe Cerebrolisin? Obviously they do focus on two different things.
Glutathione, it's not something I've really felt the road to go down. We used to offer glutathione. I have a lot of my peptide clients that take glutathione just for detoxing and liver, and they like it. I think getting the dosing right is key because everyone's so different. I know some people that have taken a decent, low dose of glutathione and just felt terrible because they were so toxic. So again, it's understand your protocols, not just saying I'm just going to inject glutathione. You need to understand what's going on in the body. So again, that's trial and error. Start low and slow.
And then Cerebrolisin is obviously a very different compound.
Cerebrolisin for cognitive performance. I mean, for me, I think we might have even discussed it on our podcast a few years ago. For me, doing that, I tried intramuscular, I tried subcutaneous, and I tried IV. And I've got access to people that can do IV for me at home and here actually. And IV was by far the best.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
By
How
far.
much were you taking though?
I was doing 5 milligrams every other day for 20 days.
Okay.
And at the end of the 20 days, that was a bit of a game changer. It's just going through. It's just I should do it more, but it's just annoying having to go and get the IV. You got to do that one arm one day.
Can I come to you to do it?
You will be soon.
Sign me up. I'm in. First customer. Because I really like Cerebrolisin, but to take enough of it via injection is a pain in the arse.
Yeah. Did you do IM or?
Yeah, intramuscular. I tried sub-Q and it was just like it's not good. So then did intramuscular.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, most of the results we hear are good, but IV was the game changer.
Why is that? Do you think it's just straight into bloodstream? You can do higher doses.
Yeah. IM is a good way to obviously assess how you respond to it, but IV, it just seems to just go straight into the bloodstream as IVs do. And I started to feed it throughout, but literally at the end of the 20-day cycle, I just woke up and just got this pop of clarity. It just, my mind felt so clear.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to kind of finish with that you could think you could give some value to the kind of audience listening to this, Dean?
I think we've discussed everything. It's just, it's the obvious things. Know your source. Make sure you work with someone that knows what they're doing. I know I sound like a stuck record, but someone that really understands biological individuality, functional medicine, integrative medicine. Don't get your peptide protocols from a cheat sheet or a book. Work with someone along the road until you really feel that you know what the peptides do for you. I think that's it.
Cool. Big thank you.
Now, if you enjoyed this clip and you're a coach, creator, or a business owner and you want help in terms of how to scale your business using ads, AI, content, marketing, a lot of things we talk about on the show, then hit the link at the top line of our description in the YouTube video. You can book on a call with us and we'll walk through the whole process, audit your business, and show you where there's huge, huge opportunities for you to scale.